Hello everyone and welcome back with Professor Chavez. Today we're going to talk about SAT roots. So now let's go ahead and identify some important pieces. The index number is going to be the small number on the radical symbol. The radicand is located inside the radical symbol. And all of this is called the radical. Once you're able to simplify the radical, that's going to give you the root. In most cases, if you do not see an index number, it's usually going to be a 2. Alright guys, example 1. Square root of 64. In order for us to find the square root, we're going to go ahead and factor out the 64. So 64 could be factored out into 2 and 32. We're going to continue this process until we have prime numbers. So the 32 could be broken down into 2 and 16, and we're going to go ahead and get rid of the 32. We're going to break down the 16 into 2 and 8 and cross out the 16. Then we're going to break down the 8 into 2 and 4. And finally, we're going to break down the 4 into 2 and 2. Now that we broke it down, remember square root, that means we need 2 factors inside the radical that are identical in order to pull them out of the radical symbol. So, for example, we're going to go ahead and circle these 2, and that gives me a 2. Times, we're going to circle 2 more factors that are identical. And then finally, we're going to circle 2 more factors that are identical. Since we have no more factors under the radical symbol, what we're going to go ahead and do is multiply these numbers. So 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8. And the way we're going to write this is the square root of 64 is 8. Alright guys, so now we're going to go ahead with example 2. The cube root of 81. If you notice, the index number changed. This indicates that we need 3 identical numbers in order to pull out from the radicand. But let's continue the process. We're going to go ahead and break down 81 into 9 and 9. And then we're going to go ahead and break down the 9 into 3 and 3 and cross out the 9. And then break down the 9 into 3 and 3 and cross it out. So remember, we need 3 identical numbers. So we're going to circle the 3, the 3, and the 3. So that tells me the 3 goes outside. But since I still have a 3 inside, I still have to put my cube root of 3. And the way I'm going to write this is the cube root of 81 is 3 and the cube root of 3. Now go ahead and try these 8 examples. Alright guys, so now go ahead and check your answers. See you next time.